Hello students, just giving a quick test. While I'm doing this test there will be a little bit of an echo, but don't you worry, that will go away very shortly once we actually begin the lesson. Okay, so just testing it out. Okay, I think it's working. So if it turns out you can't hear what I'm saying or what's going on, let me know and then I can fix it accordingly. Let's see here. Man, that's not good. Now at the same time it keeps it like that. Okay, I think that works out. Alright. Getting everything positioned. We'll be ready to begin here in just a couple of minutes. Alright, so if you're just joining us, we will begin. Well, it's 8 o'clock already, so we'll begin here in just another minute. Just give me 1 second. Hello, Rich is back again. Welcome back, Rich. Jesse is here. Stellarum is back. Glad to have you back with us today. Fuddy Duddy. Everybody, Yash is back. A long time subscriber. Looks like we have a lot of returning students today. If you are brand new, feel free to say hello as well. Always love to talk to new and returning students. So let me get one more thing adjusted here, I see, and I think we'll be ready to go. There we go. I think the lighting's a little better now. Okay. Excuse me, I just ate tacos. So that's why I'm burping. Okay. Okay, let's take a look here. Joshua, hello everybody. Glad to have you with us once again today. And actually, I'll give you a rundown of what's going on here after I do the lesson. I have a slightly different setup. Actually, it's the same setup as I did the last live stream, but I've only had one live stream in the setup, so there may be some weirdness going on, but I think I have it a lot more in line with what I need it to do. That's not good. Oh, you gotta be kidding me. Hold on. I pulled out the plug out of my monitor when moving it. Here we go. It's back. Okay. That's a new one. All right. Let's see. Let's see here. That up there. Hello students and welcome back to the classroom. Tim back here from Lessons on the Web, and today we are talking about piano lesson books for adults. So if you are an adult looking for piano lessons and maybe you can't find a regular piano lesson teacher, or you do have a teacher already and you are looking for some more supplementary material, you're looking for, songs to play, you're looking for additional lessons written down. If you are more of a visual learner, it might help you out as well. And today we're going to talk about how to look through these and pick the right ones. I'm going to go through some of the famous series that I've used in the past with other students, and we're also going to talk about, well, we're going to start out by talking about some of the benefits of using a piano lesson book for adults. So let's get right on to it. Okay. All right, the first thing we're going to talk about today is why are these lesson books useful? As I mentioned in the intro, there's a number of reasons. Reason number one is that it gives you songs to play, but not only that, they are ordered in such a way that really helps you progress from, the early stages of what you're looking for, and basically chronologically up to where you need to be. So you're not really jumping around the difficulty levels. They go directly in the exact level of difficulty that you need to be in. So they are very useful in that, in giving you songs to play. The other one, another great reason, is that they have lessons written down on the pages as well, along with each song to play, so you can really read about what the song is about ahead of time, what the goals of the song are, whether the song is really to help you train with playing with dynamics, or whether the song is helping you train playing staccatos and things like that. There's a specific purpose behind each of the songs that they pick in the book. Another great tip. And another one is that if you can't afford piano lessons, traditional lessons, either face-to-face, or maybe you can't afford the lessons on my website, and you are looking for something that's going to keep you busy and learning for a while, then a piano lesson book might be for you, especially if you like to learn on your own. So if you're out of options and you don't have any other, you can actually learn from these books, although it does really help to have videos to go along with them. It also helps to have, of course, a one-on-one teacher if you can have access and afford that. So let's get on to the actual books that I recommend. Hello, I'm going to say hello to a couple people here before we continue. So looks like Barbara is here, but thank you, Barbara, for coming once again. Glad to have you as part of the live stream. And then we have Abigail. Hello, dear friend. I am here tonight. Good night, everybody. Okay, and then like I mentioned in the beginning, whether you're a new student or a returning student, feel free to say hello in the comments, or if you have any questions about what we're talking about, I would love, love, love to hear those. Okay, just give me a second here. Oops. Okay, I think I got it. Piano books. Oh, I need a capital there. This part of the setup I'm still trying to get a little bit more fluid, but I'm making progress for sure. Okay, next we're going to talk about the actual books that I recommend. So we're just going to go on Amazon.com, where I buy all my piano books. You can choose to buy them there, or you can buy them at a lot of local bookstores actually won't have them, but you can buy them from the actual publishing companies online themselves if you wish. If you want to help out Lessons on the Web in the YouTube channel, you want to check out the Amazon affiliate links in the description, which will link you to all the books that I'm talking about today. If you purchase them through that link, it will actually help the channel. Amazon will give me a few cents for that, but it won't cost you a single thing, just letting you know about that. So the first thing we're going to look at, or the first type of it's first book that I recommend, is the Alfred series. Now there's 3 specifically in this book I recommend you start out with. That's book 1 for adults, book 2, and then book 3. I'll show you all 3 of those. So let's look at book 1. So here, if you type in Alfred Adult Level 1 into the search bar in Amazon, it brings you up with this. And it should be the first one, but it's the one with the pink cover. That's the one you want to start out with. If you have never played piano before and you are older than, I'd say, 14 years old, I would definitely check out this one. There's a ton of great songs here as well. The great thing about this book is it starts you out playing baby songs, basically. Really not very exciting songs, but by the end of the book, you're playing some really good ones, including the Ballad of Gilligan's Island. Let's take a look at actually some of these. Let's blow it up here. Au clair de la lune, that's one of the easier ones, Ara Lee. Beautiful Brown Eyes, it looks like we have. We have Cockles and Mussels. That one's not quite as well known. Amazing Grace, that's the one I was looking for. And then actually there are quite a few more There's Good King Wenceslas, Good Morning to You, which is actually Happy Birthday to You. And then you have yourself A Merry Little Christmas. It's one of the greatest ones in the back of the book. And then you also have songs like The Entertainer. So like I said, if you've never touched a piano before, and by the end of your first book you want to be playing actual real songs that sound good, this is the book you should definitely check out. And again, there's a link there in the description for you. Let's look at book number 2 really quick. Hello. Let's say hello to some new people. Moish is here once again. Hello and welcome back to the live stream. Glad to have you with us. Bella Girl, hi. Hello to you as well. Fuddy Duddy. Moish says bonsoir. I don't know how to say that properly, so if I mess that up, please forgive me. Okay, let's take a look here. All right, the next one we're going to look at is book 2. And if you type in book 2 in Amazon, it's going to be this green one. That's the one you want. There's other larger books in the Alfred series you'll notice that are in big binders. You want to be careful because sometimes they match other books in there. So if you buy one of these books I'm talking about and then one of those ones they're like in ring, you know how books can have regular binding and then they have like the ring binding. Well, the ones in the ring binding you might have overlap if you decide to get this one and that one as well. This is just the order that I go in with my students. So here's level 2. Level 2 continues. Basically, obviously, you want to take level 1 first of the books. And then once you get to the end there, you want to start level 2. One thing you'll notice when you start a new piano book a lot of times is they'll make the songs a little bit easier at first. But then by the end of the book, you'll be playing some really fantastic stuff. Namely, Canon in D is a hugely popular one at the end of this book. But there are some other ones that are really nice as well. Let me see if I can get the read more thing here with us. Okay. La Raspa is a really great song. And that one. And then La Cucaracha. So as you can see, there's a lot of songs here that if you play, others will recognize. They're, like I said, it leads you through from being a beginner in the exact order that you need to progress. So it's really good in that aspect. Let's talk about level 3 really quick. There's a sample of the Alfred book. Okay. Oh yeah, so on Amazon, if you take a look at the look inside, you can actually look at the first few pages of these books to see if they are right to you. I mean, obviously you have the table of contents, which might not be so useful for that, but as you can see, they give you like the first song or so. You can see generally what you can expect when you take this course in this book. Abigail, we're actually going to talk about John Thompson in a minute here. I do like John Thompson as well. Okay, then Alfred's number 3 is going to be this one with the blue cover. And then if you scroll down here, they really have, it's really just more of the same, but in a good way. The songs in this one are going to start to get a lot harder. However, there are a lot of good ones like Toccata in D and D minor. Toccata and Fugue in D minor, excuse me. Oh, hey, Fur-Elise is also in there. You also have... And then you have Moonlight Sonata. So some really great ones in number 3. So if you're an adult beginner, I recommend you do book 1, book 2, and then book 3 to get you started. That should keep you busy for probably the first 6 months, maybe a year, up to a year and a half, depending on how fast of a learner you are. So I highly recommend you check those out. All right, let's talk about the John Thompson series. Another pretty good series. I don't think it's quite as good as the Alfreds, to tell you the truth, but you will get some good songs to play out of this if you've gone through the Alfreds and you're looking for more songs to play that are right up your alley. You can take a look at the John Thompson's books. The only thing that really bothers me about these books is that all the levels have almost the same cover, so it's really hard to tell which one you're looking at. Like the other ones were different colors, it made a lot of sense. You have to really look at the center of the book for first grade book, second grade book, third grade book. I mean, no, it's not that hard, but it's just a little bit harder to pick them out from a long list. This one, it's like I said, it's not bad at all. You can take a look on the inside here. There's a little less instruction with this one, and it holds your hands a little bit less, although you do have some instruction on here, as you can see. It starts out really easy, just like the Alfred Adult Book 1 does. And then actually, it might give you a little bit more text as to what's going on. And they do talk about slightly different things. So I think even if you are a big Alfred person, that going over to John Thompson's and switching between both of them is probably actually a good idea, because with both of them together, you'll probably get a more complete experience learning piano, since one series of books emphasizes one set of things, and then the other series emphasizes a whole different set of aspects. So you want to consider that as well. There's at least 3 levels in this series as well you want to look out for on Amazon. Again, the link is in the description for you if you are interested in that. Okay, that is one of my favorites. There's a sample of the Alfred book. Oh, is there a sample of the Alfred book? You were asking a question, Rich. So on Amazon, you can look at the little sample. In one of my courses, Playing the Piano Level 3 over on my website, I have some of the songs from the Alfred book. If I have it here, I should have actually gotten the physical books. The only problem is that I realized before I filmed the lesson that I was running out of them, so I only had a couple of them. I still should have brought one down with me. I can show you guys exactly what you can expect from the Alfred book, but considering where you're at, Rich, if you get piano book level 2 and then level 3 of the Alfreds, I think that'll give you a bunch of additional songs to practice that are right around your level. So I think that's the way to go. I feel like book 1 is probably a little bit easier for where you're at, for sure, except maybe the last few songs might be a little bit closer to your level, but I would definitely go start at maybe level 2 and do level 2 and 3. You're very welcome, Abigail. Is it better to go through the first 3 levels of any series instead of just playing more real music? Well, there is real music in these, like I talked about. Now, sure, there are songs where the editor of the book made the song, and they're not the best songs. They're more like training songs and things like that. But certainly you can go between a lesson book and other songs that you want to practice, so long as those songs are around the same level and have the same concepts introduced in the piano lesson books. That's a great question. What do you think of Adult Piano by Nancy and Randall Faber? Farber. I think it's Faber, but let me take a look. Oh, that's weird. Why is that happening? All right. Okay, we're going to talk a little bit about the Faber series, which I kind of forgot about till one of my live stream attendees reminded me. I am familiar with this book. I am familiar with this series more in terms of the children and young adults, because they have a really excellent young adult series filled with fun songs to play. But the adults, we're going to take a look here. It looks like there's different levels to these two, and they work the same way. You want to start out with level 1 if you're a beginner. I'm sure they have different sets of songs in them. So again, it's like the same thing. If you want to get all 3 of these series, you probably can't go wrong. Looking right here at the song list, you have Ein Klein Nachtmusik. That's the bum, 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 bum. That one. The Entertainer, which is in the Alfred one. The Can-Can's also in Alfred. The Lion Sleeps Tonight is not in those. Green Sleeves is in the Alfred, I think. So there is some crossover. The John Thompson's has way less crossover in terms of songs with Alfred, but this one seems to have more crossover, but it also seems to have some unique songs as well. So you might want to pick up this series as well. I do know from experience, like I said, the adults not so much, but with the children's versions of these books, they are excellent books for the most part and have a lot of fun songs to play. So I definitely recommend you peruse through these to see if there's one of these books that you would like. And if you have, actually, I'll leave this for later in the live stream. I was going to ask you a question. Okay, Faber is more in line with classical music. Yes, so there is a lot of, Untitled music is definitely classical. The Lion Sleeps Tonight is not, The Entertainer is not technically classical music, but they are songs that you could consider are classics. We'll get into more detail on what the definition of those two words. Classical period and classical music is really from a specific time period in history, whereas classics, when you're talking about playing classics, and a lot of people when they talk about playing classical, they're talking about playing music that a lot of people know, that it might be old music, but it's well known. So those terms, even though they're the same term, classic and classical, they can tend to mean different things. Just want to let you know that in case because I didn't know that for a long time and it really confused me. Thanks, Tim and Tea Time. Westchester University rocks. Thank you so much. That's what I'm rocking today because it's 50 degrees in May here in the United States, at least the East Coast, which is really unfair because I am ready for the nice warm weather. There's more further into book 2. We can take a quick look at book 2. And then let me look at my list here because I have a list of things I want to talk about. Okay, it looks like book 2 goes into 3/8 and 6/8 time signatures, which is good. You got Brahms' Lullaby, that's great. The Lion Sleeps Tonight, I thought that was in the first book. Scarborough Fair, Malaguena, great one. Pachelbel's Canon. So again, there is a little crossover with the Alfred series in this one as well, but also it looks like it has some unique pieces as well. So check out levels 2 and level 3 of the Faber series as well. 50 degrees is a heat wave in Maine. Yes, I've heard. I know a few people who go up to Maine quite frequently or live in Maine even, and that's what they tell me. Okay. Okay, here we go. So let me change something up really quick. Okay, and one question I really want to know, I want you to leave this in the comments because I'm sure when we share, we kind of all share ideas together. And you may know of some book series that I don't know anything about and that I would love to check out and that the students on the channel would love to check out too. So leave it in the comments. What books do you recommend? Whether it's a book that we talked about or it's a book series that I neglected to mention, or maybe even a book series, piano lesson book series that I didn't even know about. Whether it's even for adults or children, let me know because I am a piano teacher myself and I would always love to know about what is out there. So leave it in the comments. What books do you recommend yourself? Okay, Han says, hello, I'm using Progressive Class Piano, 2nd edition by Elmer Hirina and found it at a thrift store. Does that sound at all familiar? No. I have no idea what that is. It looks like it's this, right? I think this is the one. Okay, a successful keyword text for both college non-music majors and majors with limited keyboard experience. Sight reading, playing by ear, repertoire pieces, harmonizing melodies, improving, technical exercises, and rhythm drills are all presented to reinforce in progressive order. A cone binding creates a lay flat book, okay, for study and performance. Okay, nice sales pitch on that one. Oh, that's what I was wanting. I was wanting Rich to share that one with me because I always forget about Kenneth Baker also. Okay, this series, I can't really tell you what I think about it, but I'm just going to add it to my cart so I can take a look at it later on. Okay. Yeah, I'll take a look at that later on. It doesn't have a preview with it, but I'll do some research online and see if that's something good that I would use. So is that something you recommend, Hans? Is that something that has helped you learn piano? Okay, let me look up Rich's real quick while Hans is getting back to us. I know I typed it Omnibus. I'm going to add this to my cart too. I was looking into this book that Rich had recommended before, and I never got around to ordering it. But I'll at least do a little bit more research into there. Okay, another series that was recommended by one of my live stream students is Kenneth Baker's Omnibus Piano Lessons. So if you just type that into Amazon, you go there, and it looks like they have a preview here on Amazon. So let's take a look together. I'm not as familiar with this one. I have heard some things from other students about it as well. And it looks like, if you look through here, the index, lessons on how to sit correctly, the piano keyboard, obviously. So it looks like it takes you through the very basic things you need to know. It has lessons combined with songs. So you have Annie's Song, Banks of the Ohio. I've never heard of a lot of these. Let's see. Carry That Weight, Choral Symphony, Help, Mary's Little Boy Child. So it looks like these ones aren't, When the Saints Go Marching In, I do know that one. So it looks like these ones aren't quite as well known as the Alfred songs, but I'm sure they are put in such an order. Like, again, they walk you through the very basic stuff for the basic concepts, and then you get into intermediate and the more advanced stuff. It looks like there's 2 books in here. Oh, okay, that's right. That's why it's the omnibus. So it takes you through a lot. It looks like it gives you a lot of things to practice and a lot of lessons. So I can't recommend it 100% personally, but from what I've heard from both Rich and some of my other students, it looks like a quality book, and it looks like it has a lot of material in it. So if you wanted to keep you learning for a very long time, then I think this is the way to go. Even if, though, the book is a little bit more expensive than the others, it's a bunch of books. Actually, $19.99 isn't that bad. Oh, it said $29.99 here. Oh, for the plastic home version. I see. So it looks like you get quite a lot for, just $30 or so. There's 5 books in one, says Rich. So you get 5 books and the price of one for $30. I think that's a pretty good deal. Don't know if I'd recommend. It's kind of dry. Lots of technical exercises before you get to enjoying the music. That's what it looked like from the first couple of pages we were looking at, but I couldn't really tell. I'm looking for a book for beginners. So Kobe, depending on how old you are, if you're over the age of 14, I recommend you start with the one we first brought up tonight, which was Alfred Adults. Level 1. You want this pink book right here if you are an adult, if you're around the age of an adult. Like I said, if you're over the age of 14 or so, you can definitely handle this adult book in most cases, I think. So you want to check that out. If you are on the younger side, you can look up Alfred's Children's Series and start with book 1 there. Although that will be extremely easy. That's for like little kids like 5 and 6 years old. Rich says, the book is from the 80s, I think. You're talking about the Omnibus. So the songs are not modern, but it's a great book, he says. So check out that Omnibus book we're looking for if you're starting out as a very beginner. Start out with the Alfreds, of course. That's one that is near and dear to my heart. It's actually one of the ones. Did I learn? Yeah, I have played through that book myself, but that wasn't one. I started as a child, so I went through the children's. I actually learned from James Bastian. Let me see if James Bastian is still around. I think so. James and Jane Bastian. I remember that. James Bastian. Let me see if he has any adult books. Okay, so it looks like even James Bastian has a couple of books for beginners, it looks like. Beginning Piano for Adults, GP 23. Now, I'm not familiar with this book, but I do know the other children's books that him and his wife wrote are of pretty good quality, and they are what helped me get to where I am today. You know, I started when I was about 6 years old, and I probably used the James Bastian series until I was about 17 or so. And then once I got into music school, they whipped me into shape with all these like sonatas and things like that. So by then, I was playing really like a lot of high level stuff. Rich says, I think I'm going to try the Alfred book. Okay, yeah, go for it, Rich. And like I said, you don't have to, but if you use the links in the description to buy the book from Amazon, if you are an Amazon buyer like I am, I love Amazon. I have Amazon Prime and everything. It will give me a small kickback to help out the channel, and it won't cost you a single thing. But that's just optional. I just want to let everybody know about that. Tim, is it impossible to become great at piano by teaching yourself? No, it's not impossible. However, like I said, when you get to a certain point, probably where you are now, you're going to want to find a teacher to play in front of at least once a month, I'd say. So just somebody that can listen to you play and say, oh, hey, you know, I correct this, this, and this. I think, you know, you put up videos on YouTube, and I've been able to comment on a few of them. We can keep doing that if you want. This summer, like I said, I'll have a little bit more time, so I think we can set up maybe a few Skype lessons to kind of get that, you know, that kind of thing started where I can see exactly what you're doing and be able to comment on it in real time. And then if you could find a teacher in New York City, I think that's where you said you were from, that would be great as well. Like a personal teacher, if you could get like once a week lessons, that would be fantastic. But even if you get like me over Skype or something like that, send me a few videos so I can at least comment on to give you some feedback, then yes. You can learn a ton about piano on your own. I think a lot of people learning from my website have proven that. I put up a recording some time ago, I'd say about a month or two ago already, of my student. He goes by Wolfgang. If you type in Wolfgang into my YouTube channel, like searching the videos, you'll find it, and there's a recording of him playing. He learned almost entirely from my videos in the beginning, and then what happened was he played in front of a teacher somewhere, and the teacher saw the potential in him and then took him on as a private student. So he started completely with my lessons. He actually got pretty far. He was able to play, starting to play sonatas and things like that. But in terms of getting the actual feedback, he was finally able to find a lesson teacher out there in the world who took him on, and now he's going to a music school. So it's really, really fantastic what he's been able to do. So yes, it is possible. It is not impossible to become a great piano by teaching yourself. But like I said, every once in a while, once you get to a certain level, especially where you're at, I think, you're going to want to seek out somebody that can help you out. Rich says, would I need an elaborate setup for a Skype lesson? No, not really. If you have an iPad, or which I assume you have like a laptop or an iPad, or if you are on a desktop, I mean, you're accessing the live stream somehow. And actually, you record yourself when you put videos up on YouTube, so you can record yourself that way. Even if it's that side view, that I think you use a side view when you play songs, that's fine enough. Especially if it's a song that I am familiar with or I have the sheet music in front of me, I can really tell you a lot about the song just by listening to it. If I can see your hands, that's a plus. It doesn't need to be exactly top down like mine has to be, where you can see everything, you know, perfectly. It doesn't need to be overly sophisticated, I guess, to sum it up. So if you get like a laptop or a smartphone or something set up to where I can both hear you, talk to you, and watch your hands to some degree, I think that would be perfect. That's a great story about your student. You should be very proud. I am very proud. So check out that lesson if you haven't seen it. We're going to do more recordings with Wolfgang very soon. He's been working very, very hard. He's planning on going to a real music conservatory pretty soon, but he is going to, I think, what's considered a music school. I'll have to ask him more about the details. I'm going to actually talk to him tomorrow. He's getting ready for a big exam in June, and then as soon as he's done that, I think we'll try to get him to record some more stuff. He'll have a lot of songs that are in primo, tip-top shape. But that's what the online thing is all about. It's really getting students to a level where they can go out on their own, maybe find a teacher, but like I said, you can get pretty good on your own just learning online. It just helps to have, a teacher tell you what you're doing right and what you're doing wrong. That would be a very good, Tim. All right, Abigail, I'm not sure exactly which comment I said that you were referring to, but sure. Yeah, sometimes I just can't remember all the stuff we were talking about. Let's see. Can you type the names of each of the series so we can look them up later? Still want to take lessons from you after I get a reliable internet connection. Sure, we can do that. Okay, let me get everybody some links. I'll tell you what. When I post the recording of this, because right now to get all the other links I don't have will take time. The Alfred's levels 1, 2, and 3, I have links in the description of this video that you're watching right now. I also have the John Thompson level 1 book, a link in the description to the Amazon website that you can look up. You can either buy from Amazon, or if you choose, you can look up to see if you can find it somewhere else. If you prefer, the other books we talked about, like this Beginning Piano for Adults by James Bastian, the Omnibus book that Rich had mentioned, and the book mentioned earlier, I blanking on exactly what it was called. I will, once I post up the recording of this, excuse me, burps on the way. Once I post up the recordings of this, I will also post the links to those as well. Rich says, Tim, you should record a sample Skype lesson for people interested in purchasing some lessons. I should do that, and I can't do that. So with my student Wolfgang, I can do that. If you want to, Rich, just kind of try out a Skype lesson or two. Like I said, maybe in a month or so once summer starts to kick in. Right now I'm still pretty busy. I've had an enormous amount of craziness this year. As I mentioned before, like a while ago, my mom passed away. And then like just a week ago, my grandfather passed away. And now my grandmother is not doing so hot either. So, and she's not going to make it too much longer. So it's crazy, crazy, crazy stuff. But I think in the summer, I'll have a little bit more time to spend on this. I also have something special planned for the summer for the channel in general, but I'm still playing out that idea. I definitely will have time though for a couple of Skype lessons if you just want to try them out. And then if you really like it, we can set up a regular thing. I actually do a regular one for for my student Wolfgang. I do those every week or so on Friday, so we still have those lessons, and he still does get something out of them, even though more like these days I just kind of discuss with him what his goals are and things like that, since he already has a teacher that tells him everything he wants to do. Rich says, I'd love to do a Skype lesson. Okay, great. So as we get closer to June, I think I'll be in a better position to do that, barring nothing else happens to me. It doesn't happen to me. It just happens. Barring nothing else happens in my life, we should be good to go about that. Rich says, sorry to hear about your family troubles. Thank you, Rich. It's been crazy. It's been pretty hard. I'll say that to everybody, but I'm hanging in there okay. You just get years like that sometimes where you get smacked down over and over and over again, and you just got to do your best. Abigail says, you're doing great. I meant teaching from a video on YouTube, those who are interested. Thank you so much, Abigail. It really means a lot. Sorry for your loss. Thank you so much. Okay. I wanted to... I think we'll do that in a minute, and then I'll do this. Okay. How about how about this? Let me change what we're doing. So I'm bringing back the Patreon. It never really went away, but I stopped posting on it and I stopped paying attention to it because, again, all the things that have been going on. But mainly, like, I had a lot of trouble for a long time thinking, like, what is the Patreon for? Why would people sign up for the Patreon when they could sign up for my courses on my website? They get, a course out of it, and they still help out the channel. Well, I'm still figuring it out, but I really spent a lot of time thinking about it, and I just want to tell everybody what I've been thinking here. So let me get onto my page here. Let's see. So here's the Lessons on the Web Patreon. So if you go to patreon.com/lessons on the web, it will take you where you need to go, which is right here to the Patreon page. What this is for, and what this will allow me to do, the funds I get from this Patreon, is it will go into things like, well, as you can see, if we reach the goal of $50, I'll make a 10-minute long recital. It'll be totally new things that I learn, and I'll put it up on YouTube. And then, actually, I need to publish some of the other goals as well. I was writing them up. Oh, no. I have them here. I just had to hit the over one. Okay, some of the other things I want to do is I want to upgrade the equipment all to 4K, so it is looking really, really crisp and everything. But the thing I really need is to be able to hire a video editor. They can be kind of costly. It can cost at least $100 per video, depending on what's involved in the video. Now, if it's something really easy to do, it won't cost nearly as much. But it will cost quite a bit to do. Now, the reason I need this is that a lot of the time I spend on the YouTube videos is in editing. So after we do the live stream, I go in and I clip out all of the talk, the parts where I'm really just rambling on, or maybe something happens where it interrupts the live stream. Basically, I cut it all together so it's very coherent and it makes a lot of sense. And it takes a lot of time to be able to do that. So if I can hire an editor, I'll be able to spend a lot more time on developing the lessons themselves. I'll also be able to put out more live streams. One of the goals I'm going to put here, I think I may have it already. 250 is the video editor. I'm going to change this around a little bit. Somewhere around that goal is that I'm thinking about daily live streams if we can swing it. Because if I start to make a certain amount on the Patreon and the website, I will be able to spend a lot more time exclusively on this online stuff. Right now, I have a lot of students that I drive to locally, and I love them all, don't get me wrong. But what happens is when students drop out, I have to replace them after a while because I need a certain income to help pay for their living, basically. So what this will do and what the Patreon is now for is it will allow me to put additional effort and resources exclusively back in the channel. Anything I make from this Patreon, I'm going to pump right back into the channel. And that's really what it's for. It's really for people who are regular attendees of the live stream, or people who watch the videos on YouTube, to really contribute some way towards the community that we all have to make things even better than they already are. You can also leave a super chat if you're interested, which is right here on YouTube. If you go right below the chat and you click on the little dollar icon, it will, you'll be able to contribute a certain amount. So there's a couple of different ways that you can donate and help the channel. Totally optional. If you're not into it, do not worry, or you don't have the funds especially. If you're low on cash, please keep it for yourself and spend it on the things that you need. But it is just another way to help out the channel. So what I'm going to do right now is I want to take the time, I just wanted to let you guys know because I was really playing around with the different ideas on what to use the Patreon for, so I want to announce to you what I came up with. Now, I want to take the time specifically to thank the Patreon supporters that have contributed so far. Rich was one of them for a while, and there are some others as well. I'm going to list specifically the $10 price point. I'm going to list those by name. Brian Fisher is actually the only Patreon right now pledging at the $10 level, so I will call him out by name. But I really want to give a general shout out to all the other supporters because you are making the future of this of this channel possible and help us to grow and achieve even greater things. Okay, let's see here. Rich, let's see. Do I have anything else to talk about with this one? Oh yeah. Go to patreon.com/lessonsontheweb if you are indeed interested. Okay, let's see here. Rich says, Tim, do you ever have times where you have trouble sight reading? Yes. Sometimes, even if I'm good at sight reading and I've been practicing it a lot, if I don't sleep right or I'm just not feeling right that day, I can't sight read worth a crap. I just can't. Do it quite as well. Yeah, regress and make simple mistakes. Yep. So yeah, that happens to me definitely. Edson says, hello, Tim. Love your lessons. Can you recommend a book to understand theory? I'm still a beginner. Yeah, or understand harmony. If you're a beginner. Now, here's the thing is, first I want to recommend that if you go to my website, pianolessonsontheweb.com, I have some courses over there. If you click on the music courses and scroll down to, and you hit music theory, all of these music theory courses will help you understand the components of music as well as the harmony, melody, and things like that. So you could start with music theory level 1 and work your way down there. So I recommend that first because that's something that I created, and I know that's something that can help you. If you start with music theory level 1 and you work your way down that list, you will understand quite a bit about harmony. But for a beginner, music theory level 1 is probably where you want to start. And use the code YouTube if you want to get 15% off any order. I almost always forget to tell the live stream attendees that. So code YouTube during checkout. But in terms of books, let me look up a book here. We were talking about Alfred earlier, and I spelled it completely wrong. Okay, now I'm recommending this just based on that I like the Alfred series. I have never personally used this book, but I can tell you right now that it's probably something that you're looking for in a music theory / harmony kind of thing. So it's Alfred's Essentials of Music Theory, a complete self-study course for all musicians. And it looks like it's going to walk you through a lot of the basic things that my music theory course walks you through as well. So that's a book that I can recommend for you. Can adults really learn? This is Bella Girl. Can adults really learn to play piano? Yeah, of course. I mean, beyond playing chopsticks really well. Oh, yeah, of course. So adults, I get this question all the time. They're like, I'm 17 years old. I'm 24. I'm 34, 57, 68, 72. Can I play piano? And the answer is always yes. A lot of people think to get good at piano, like if to get good at a language or something like that, you have to start when you're a little kid. It helps, but to be honest with you, you can get pretty good as an adult, and it doesn't take a ton of time. I think, Rich, aren't you exclusively an adult learner? You only learned piano when you were a bit older? I think Rich is one of them. I think there's a few others in the live stream as well where they only learned as adults, and you can actually make a pretty good amount of progress learning as an adult. There's some benefits of being an adult. Now, as a kid, your brain is a sponge. You can pick things up really fast. Your coordination, although kids' coordination, I think, is something adults have over them a lot of times, because what will happen is when you're a kid, obviously you'll have some coordination level. You'll hit puberty and your coordination goes all over the place, mainly down. You become less coordinated because your body changes and you don't know how to deal with it, and there's lots of other brain things going on. And then when you become an adult, things settle down and you're able to, you have a greater dexterity for the most part. At least that's what I found. I could not do anything right when I was a kid, it seems. So there are some advantages to starting as an adult, and yes, you can learn piano as an adult. Ryan is here. Ryan, I've been wanting to email you. I'm going to email you, I think, tomorrow or the next day. I have it on my to-do list. I was actually going to do it today, but I ran out of time. Email Ryan, so I will email you soon. So Ryan is also a subscriber on the website here. And he said, that is me, 47, just started last October. Fuddy Duddy is 66 and learning piano. So take a look at that. Daily live streams, Rich says, yes. So it looks like daily live streams is a thing people want. So I'm going to go on the Patreon later, and I'm going to make a set goal that we can hit for that. And if we hit that goal, I can do daily live streams, which I think would be fantastic. Rich started at 30, and I can rock Twinkle Twinkle now. Ryan can play other things too. Ryan has sent me some recordings of him playing, and he can play a little bit more than Twinkle Twinkle Little Star. Don't let him fool you. RJ47, I started in January. Hello, RJ. Welcome to the live stream. Glad to have you with us. Always glad to have new students. Bella Girl says, thanks, Tim, and everyone else. I'm 53. So we're all a little bit older here. That's interesting. I'm glad to know that what the ages are around here. I'm 15, and then Eric is Eric, right? I'm 15. I noticed that there's two, well, there's more than two groups, but there's two main splits of piano students I have. I have a group that are like teenagers that you really wouldn't think would be interested in piano, but they are. You know, they see somebody they like play piano, or they think it'd be really cool to pick it up, and they pick it up on their own, which I think is fantastic. When I began this thing, I never imagined teenagers would be involved, but there is quite a section of teenagers that watch my video, and then a lot of the other ones are adults, like 30 years and older, it seems. So it's always interesting. I am 77, playing by ear for 3 years, Abigail says. 24 and just started learning piano. So I also have some between teenage and, adults here. So quite a great range of people. Let's see. Rich says, okay, great, Ryan. I'll check it out after the stream. Oh, he filmed some practice sessions for you. So if they're the ones he sent me, they are pretty good. That's one thing I need to focus more on, is I think looking at recordings of other students and talking about them on the stream, I think would be pretty cool. So that's something I need to play around with, an idea I need to play around with a bit better. Funny Day says, I played synth in rock bands, but guitar was my main instrument. I wish I started young, says Rich. So even though you can learn as an adult, sure, you can probably look back and say, well, if I began when I was 6 years old like Tim did, maybe I'd be further along in playing piano. But, you can't be on top of everything. And, later is certainly better than never when it comes to learning piano. So whether you're 66 years old or even older, getting up to there into your senior years, you can definitely learn piano. Definitely. Now, if you want to be a concert level pianist and you're approaching 50, 60 years old, that's probably not going to happen, to tell you the truth. But you can certainly learn enough to where you can get some enjoyment out of it and achieve goals, which achieving goals really is what keeps me going when learning how to play the piano. My AVG is saying stuff. All right, let's see. Ryan says, I haven't uploaded them yet, but I put 2 or 3 up for Tim, but they are 3 or 4 units old now. So you have worked ahead since the last time I have spoken with you, Ryan. Rich says, I realized my passion at 30 years old. Well, that's okay. Like I said, better late than never. Okay, what I'm gonna do right now, since we're approaching the hour, is I'm gonna do an outro. Now, even though I'm saying in the outro, see you later, it's the end of the lesson, I'm not going anywhere, at least not yet. I mean, in a few minutes we'll end it, but I want to do an outro, and then we'll talk a little bit more, so don't go anywhere, and then we'll do it from there. This is really just for the part of the lesson, like I talked about, I edit the lesson together. So this is part of the lesson that will be clipped in there. But like I said, even though I'm saying goodbye, see you later, I'm going to stick around for a little bit longer, but let me do this. Ryan is currently on playing the piano, level 2, unit 1. Fuddy Duddy. Username triple digits, and they are unlisted now. Okay. Whoa, thank you. Thank you, Edson. Thank you so much for your contribution. The super chat back once again. So that's a super chat. If somebody doesn't know what a super chat is, if you're not familiar with the YouTube live stream, that's what it is. You donate some money and it pops up, as a colored text. And I make a big deal out of it because I really should, because they're really helping the channel continue what we do, which is fantastic. Okay, let's take a look. Fuddy Duddy, it's not too late for you to write music. I actually have a lesson. Look up on the channel, Write Your First Song. It's a lesson that I did a few months ago, and if you're looking for a great first lesson on writing a song, that's what you should look out for. Let me do the outro here. Like I said, I'm not going anywhere. All right. Okay, students, so that concludes the lesson for today. There's one place I really want you to go, a video I want you to check out. I'll post somewhere around here once I post this all up here in the annotations, and that is the keyboard buying guide. So if you like this guide in terms of picking out the adult piano books you want to play, you really want to check out that one if you need the next step. Actually, this should be the first step, which is finding an instrument to play. I go over some low tier, mid tier, and high tier keyboards that you want to be on the lookout for, as well as a lot of the things you want to be on the lookout when you are looking to purchase a keyboard. So I highly recommend you check out that one next, and subscribe so you don't miss out on all the great updates. We have new lessons coming out every week. We have live streams on Fridays and Sundays at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and the recordings are posted fairly shortly after that. So thanks a lot, everybody. This has been Tim from Lessons on the Web, and I'll talk to you in the next lesson. Thank you so much. Okay, still here. I'm not gone yet. How do I start using the sustain pedal? I'm going to have to make a lesson on that. So sustain pedal is the rightmost pedal on your keyboard or piano, and it helps sustain the notes. When you have, let's see, I'm going to go into this really quick. It's not there. Actually, this one's better. Oh, let me change. Hold on, everybody. Okay, so what you're going to do is, it says PED. Sometimes it doesn't say PED, but the pedal line is this line here right at the bottom of the piece here. It has like little spikes in it, so that is the pedal line. So you want to hold down the pedal when it says PED and you have the line. Even if it doesn't say PED and you have the line, you want to hold the pedal down. So you're holding the pedal down. You're going to play this first measure, and then see how it has a spike right there in the second measure? That means you want to lift up, like pop up the pedal really quick and press it back down. What that is for, and you want to do that every time you have that spike. What that is for is to break up the sound, because if you keep the pedal down, hear that? All the notes start to blend together. So you need to that little pop up in the pedal line to break up the sound. Nice, Rich. I'm working on that piece too, says Stellarum. Eris's theme can be very, very difficult. Okay, Abigail says, thank you so much, Time. Thank Tim. God bless. And Eris's theme is not easy. That is true. If you want to work on that and then go over it during a Skype lesson, we can do that. Again, like I said, a little closer to June, I think we can set that up. Let's see here. Thanks for the lesson, says Matthew. You're very welcome. Thanks for listening. Rich hates when the fingering is not available. I agree with you there, Rich. You're very welcome, Abigail. And thank you, Ryan. Ryan has left a $20 super chat. Haven't seen any Patreon charges lately, and since you gave me such a great deal on Academy lessons, thanks. Thank you so much, Ryan. Very, very sweet of you. The Patreon I was talking about here a few minutes ago, I think before you joined us. Basically, I hadn't been posting to the Patreon in a while, mainly because of all the crazy things that have been going on. But another main thing was I couldn't figure out what the Patreon was for. You know, I knew it was an additional way for people to contribute towards the live streams and things like that. But now I have set goals on the Patreon that we want to meet. I'm going to make a goal on there in the next day or so and update it there about daily live streams. If we can make a certain amount per lesson video, I will do daily live streams, because then I'm able to put a lot of resources back into the channel, and I can hire a video editor, which is really the big thing that I need right now. If I can get a video editor to do some of the easier and more complicated videos, that would be amazing, and I'd be able to spend a lot of more time on some other things. Let's see. I'm using the Alfred's Adult course books. Would you bring in the supplemental books like scales, chords, and arpeggios? Yeah. So RJ, if you look up scales and arpeggios here on Amazon. Oops. Rich has an idea. Yes, Rich. What is your idea? What I would love to hear it. So if you look up, you find the complete book of scales, chords, arpeggios, cadences. I recommend you get that one as well. In addition to the adult piano books that we talked about tonight. So, waiting for any last-minute comments or questions. It is 9 o'clock. We'll begin to wrap it up a little bit here. I'll let some other people introduce their thoughts. Rich is coming up with one. People can donate. Here's Rich's idea. People can donate on Patreon, and as a reward, you can spotlight a video of them playing and show it on that stream. That would be cool. Okay. Yeah, if you think that's something people would want as a gift or a what do they call them? They don't call them gifts. Whatever they are, rewards. Yeah, as a reward, I can introduce it on the live stream, recording them playing, and talk about it if they wish. Yeah, I can do that. Yeah, that's a great idea, Rich. I'll definitely consider that. That's terrific. So yeah, I'm pretty sure I'm gonna add that in. Don't hold me to it 100%. I need to think about it still, but that sounds like a great idea to me. Okay, I'll get on that. I'll keep updated on the Patreon page over the next couple of weeks, because I will be updating it, and like I said, making the rewards pretty nice, as well as the goals really nice. Like I said, I really want to hit that goal to do live streams on an almost daily basis. I want to say almost, because things come up and I might not be able to do it, but I will do it, 6 to 7 times out of the week if we do hit that goal for sure. Okay, let me talk really quick. There's one thing I want to bring up, and it's that I have updated the lesson schedule for the live stream. So if you go to Lessons on the Web, pianolessonsontheweb.com, and you click on Community, a more expensive donation, he says. Yeah, I agree. That's probably a pretty good idea for that one, for a more expensive one. Okay, we did piano lesson books for adults. We have the community Q&A on Sunday. The next one we're going to talk about, this is a good one, how to play piano songs more expressively with this easy tip. So basically, how to get your songs to sound more lively. I think I'm going to come up with an alternate title to that. I think that's a little bit better. Maybe like how to breathe life into your piano playing. And then we have dynamics the following week, an in-depth look. This was something requested by Rich. I really wanted to do it for him, but I think also some other people on the stream would love that as well. We got the simplest piano improv technique on June 2nd. Man, we're getting into June here. And then you got piano songs to learn for hand independence on June 16th. And you got your beginner's roadmap to learning how to play piano. Basically, the starting from the very beginning, how to work your way through the maze of learning piano and get to the end successfully. Let's see, Tim, I got Alfred's Basic as a gift, but I haven't used it. I stay on the Academy lessons 95% of the time. But I looked through it some like I progressed beyond it already. Should I bother? If you feel like you've progressed beyond it already, you don't have to bother. However, if you feel like you need a little bit more practice sight reading, I would recommend going through some of the easier songs and playing them. You know, play a new song every day and it will really help out your sight reading. So don't get rid of the book. Still use the book. You might not have to go through it like a lesson book traditionally where you go through one of the lessons per week. You might be able to blow through a lot of them, but I still recommend playing through a lot of the songs in the book because they will give you some additional practice and also help, like I said, with your sight reading. All right, everybody. I think I'm going to check out here. It is at the hour. I want to thank everybody for coming out tonight and being a part of our piano community. Hold on here. Let me get my face in here. So I want to thank everybody for coming out and being a part of the community. It really means a lot to me, and I think it means a lot to other people too that I can help teach them, you know, across the through the power of the internet, as Boogie2998 says. So it's really, really cool that we can come here together. I really feel like we have a strong, awesome following of students that attend these live streams. Remember that we meet on the live streams Fridays and Sundays at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If we can get that Patreon goal, we'll have one every day. But we'll work our way up to there. If you're looking for more, if you want some place to go after this live stream, go to pianolessonsontheweb.com. And there you can learn about the courses that I've made. So if you like the same kinds of videos you see on here on the channel, you will really love what you see over there on the website. Ryan is a member of the website, and he loves it as well. I'm going to get some more testimonials to put up there very soon, so be on the lookout for that. All right, thanks everybody for coming out. I'll address the few questions that we have here in a second. So I just want to thank everybody, and I'll talk to you in the next lesson, which is Sunday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So thank you so much, and talk to you soon. Now let's just take a look here. Fuddy Duddy says, thanks again, Tim. It is good for all us to meet this way. I agree. Ryan says, thanks, Rich. I will keep that in mind. And I tried to start a theory course, but I'm already so busy with the unit lessons every day. Tim, I have advice for students. Try your best at playing without looking down. Seems impossible at first. The less you look down, the better your playing will be. That's a great tip. I like that. Maybe we'll do like a student's tip kind of thing one day where I will just get one tip from every live stream attendee and I'll share them, you know, as tips. I do love it, says Ryan. So glad I joined. Thank you very much, Ryan. I'm glad to have you as a student as well. Let's see if I missed anybody. I think I got everything. Keep in mind, Rich's tips. You want to look up at the music and not down at your hands the entire time. All right. Thanks, Tim, and good night, everybody. So thank you, everybody, for coming out. Great talking to you again, Ryan and Rich and everybody who's a regular here. And yeah, thanks a lot, and I'll talk to you soon.